Have you ever wondered how the Brazilian music market functions and operates? Well, if you have, then you don't want to miss our insightful conversation with Luciana Pegorer, Director of Brazilian Independent Music Association. We discuss the independent label market in Brazil, as well as some of the best ways to break into that market, and much, much more. Coming up. Hi. We're back at the second day live from Sync Summit, and we managed to catch up with Luciana Pegorer, who is the Brazilian Independent Music Association General Director. Luciana, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Very glad to be in Los Angeles.
Oh, good. Is this your first trip?
To Los Angeles, yes. I've been here when I did my exchange student program, just passing through to Oregon, where I stayed for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
But it's an amazing city. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Now, you are the General Director of the Brazilian Independent Music Association, and can you tell us exactly what that is?
Sure. We are the only indie association that represents all the record companies of the indie scene in Brazil, and it's pretty huge. Like, we have 70% of our market is domestic music, Brazilian music. And what we do is organize the scene. We make some deals on behalf of everyone. We bring information. We do workshops. We do seminars. And we do a lot of network all together. And we do business together. Like, all the members know each other, get to know each other in our events, because we have lots of events. And that makes the environment better for the indie music in Brazil. So we partner with other associations too. So I think we do lots of services to the members.
You said an interesting thing. You said that in Brazil, 70% of the music is domestic. Can you talk about what other territories of the world is Brazilian music have a large impact outside of Brazil?
Europe has always been a good market for us. And Asia, Japan is the second largest Japanese population in the world is in Brazil. So Japan has always been a good market for Brazilian music. And now other parts of Asia they are getting so developed. So Singapore and even the Middle Asia, like Dubai, many artists are going to that direction. And the Americas has never been a good market. That's something interesting. So we have always gone overseas. So Europe and Asia are fine territories for us. And we are trying now to develop North America. Some artists already have a career here and started from Bossa Nova, but it's kind of stopped there. And now we have some major mainstream artists coming, but I think it's mostly for the Brazilian population that lives in the U.S. It's not something that the Americans have discovered Brazilian music. Something restricted to the Brazilian population in America. And the Latin countries that speak Spanish, we have a hard time because of the language. Portuguese is similar to Spanish, but it's different in a way. So we have a hard time both ways. Like, even for the Brazilians to understand the music made in Latin America, and for Latin America to understand the Brazilians, the music made in Brazil is right. It's weird. This should be more close, but
it's interesting because Brazil is, I think, the largest country in South America, and yet it's the only country, as I understand, that doesn't speak Spanish. That its language is Portuguese.
Exactly, and it's confusing for many people yet today.
Good. The other interesting thing that I've learned about Brazil is that your country is one of the most socially networked populations.
It is.
And has that helped within the association for expanding Brazilian music in other territories via social networking? Or is it just starting to? Yeah.
No, it does. Actually, we are very social network country. So for discovering music from outside Brazil, I think it's the other way around, because of course, we can distribute digitally our music to everywhere in the world, and it's easier for us to build a network outside Brazil. But we are not doing that very well yet, because we had to do that in English, for example. So, and as we are such a large country, we are still catching up with all these new technologies within ourselves, like getting our network together inside the country for the Brazilians,
right?
And starting to get some music service in Brazil, because they're just got there. Like iTunes is in Brazil only for 2 years.
Yes.
And the other services, Spotify is not there yet. And these are RDO and other services just got there like 1 year and a half. So we're still learning all that and starting to work with all that within our own country. But the companies are working well with distribution. Many are selling a lot outside. YouTube is something that's doing a big difference for us. Also because of this addiction of Brazilians to the online things and networking, and everything is on YouTube. So it's doing really well there, and we are profiting out of it. So sure, it's helping a lot. So and now we are on the stage of organizing our digital music, organizing our catalogs on digital environment, so that we can explore it better and start working better to the outside world internationally, and trying to break through new territories that we are not there yet. Especially now with Europe in such a big crisis,
right?
We really need to expand to new territories.
Luciana, with the World Cup coming up next year, and that's happening in Brazil, I know a lot of people are going to be focusing on Brazilian music. And I'm wondering, how do people who are in search of Brazilian music, how do they find it? What would be the best way for them to go about doing this?
Okay, thinking of that, we are building a database of all of our members' content, because we have a few companies that work well with the sync area within their own catalogs, but we don't have a place to shop for all the indie Brazilian music. So we are building in the association the database, and I'll be promoting it with all the people that were here at Sync Summit. But for who was not, can take a look at our website, www.abmi.com.br. There will have a licensing place there, and we'll start having from next week on, every week we'll be uploading more content, and we ourselves can be a source for that. Just drop us a note, abmi@abmi.com.br. Tell us what you're seeking for, and we'll spread the word out and to the members, and they will get back. And in a few months, I think we'll have some other services in Brazil. We're working with a company called BR Tracks. They're organizing themselves also to be a large licensing platform. And other platforms are starting to show that I'm starting to talk to them about that. And we'll be promoting all this content. But for now, the association can be the connection.
Okay.
And then we can start to detail this one by one whenever necessary.
What advice would you have for artists who perhaps are in America that want to break into the Brazilian market?
Well, the internet is something that helps a lot today. So if you get if someone finds you, and if you're really good, and especially the kids do that really well, and they share with all their friends, and then it becomes a hit, and someone will find you and will distribute you locally and work with you locally. But mainly, you really have to have a partner down there.
Right.
But it starts from some point. I think in every country would be like that. If you have to be found by someone, and then that someone have to work with you within the country. But
A partner, you mean musical label or
yes, you have to have a business partner down there. Otherwise, it's really complicated because you have to know how to do things there, and we are very relationship driven. So you need to know people, and so you really have to have a partner there. Even for concerts, the live scene in Brazil is very exciting right now. They're doing really well, and many artists don't sell too many records, but they're doing really well on the concerts now, on the live scene. So we have lots of festivals and places to play, to perform. So you need to have a partner.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Fascinating stuff coming from Luciana, who was the managing director of the Brazilian Independent Music Association, whose mission is to coordinate, develop, and grow the Brazilian music industry. So, insiders, question of the day. What were the most interesting things to you that Luciana spoke about with regards to the Brazilian music industry? Was it the level of connection of social media that has helped spread Brazilian music throughout the world? Or was it the advice for artists and labels wanting to break into the Brazilian market? Or maybe it was something else that resonated with you. We'd love to hear from you and connect in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to MUBUTV for more information on how to educate, empower, and engage your music career. You can also check out a summary of this episode and everything we talked about in the description below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, we'd really love if you hit the like button and let us know what other kinds of videos and types of content you want to see on our channel. Hit us up in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.